Two-year-old qualifying races at the Meadows for Thursday, June 21st. Track fast, temperature 83 degrees. First race for Pacers, number 1, Met Rocket by Metropolitan, trained by Jeff Indoff, the driver Will Yoder. Number 2, Whetstone Hanover by Some Beach Somewhere, trained by Dan Altmeyer, the driver Mike Wilder. Number 3, A Real Mozartist by Real Desire, trained by Ron Burke, the driver Dave Pallone. Number 4, Summertime Leah by Lisley, trained by Ron Burke, driver Brett Miller. Number 5, Twisted Sis by Quick Pulse Mindale, trained by Randy Bendis, the driver Dick Stillings. Number 6, Voltina by All-American Native, trained and driven by Roger Hammer. And number 7, Gypsy Cards by Tell All, trained by Norm Parker, the driver Norm Parker. Second qualifying race for 2-year-olds, this one for trotters, number 1, Easter Legs by Malabar Millennium, trained by Terry Altmeyer, the driver Mike Wilder. Number 2, Rock On Mermaid by Cantab Hall, trained by Greg Wright, the driver Greg Wright Jr. Number 3, Batting Lashes by Tom Ridge, trained by Rich Gillock, driver Dick Stillings. Number 4, G Mama by SJ's Caviar, trained and driven by Marty Wollum. Number 5, Millennium Rain by Malabar Millennium, trained by Chris Rickert, the driver Brett Miller. Number 6, Dizzy Rizzy by Ken Workington, trained by Ron Burke, the driver Dave Pallone. Number 7, Buckle Down by Malabar Millennium, trained by Chris Rickert, the driver Randy Tharps. Qualifier number 3, this one for Pacers. Number 1, Do You Believe in Magic by Western Terror, trained by Bruce Regal, the driver Brett Miller. Number 2, Nova Scotia Hanover by Some Beach Somewhere, trained by Randy Bendis, the driver Dick Stillings. Number 3, Charlie's Chapel by All-American Native, trained by Walter Johnson, the driver Doug Snyder. Number 4, It's Time We Met by Real Desire, trained by Ron Burke, the driver Dave Pallone. Number 5, Pink Camo by Pine Valley, trained by Ty Loy driving. Number 6, Frothy Latte by Nuclear Breeze, trained by Roger Hammer, the driver Kyle Bolin. Number 7, On Alert by Western Terror, trained by John Ryan Melsheimer, the driver Brian Zen. Fourth qualifier, Field of Trotters. Number 1, Sass and Pout by Tom Ridge, trained by Rich Gillock, the driver Dick Stillings. Number 2, And a 2 Hanover by Glidemaster, trained by Greg Wright, the driver Greg Wright Jr. Number 3, Ladyfinger by Andover Hall, trained and driven by Marty Wollum. Number 4, Pine Judy by Cantab Hall, trained and driven by Bill Zent. Number 5, Dandy Chip Chip by Chip Chip Hooray, trained by Jeff Kirkbride, the driver Will Yoder. Number 6, Caspian Caviar by SJ's Caviar, trained and driven by Ray Paver. Number 7, Olivet de V by Cantab Hall, trained and driven by Steve Schoeffel. Qualifying race number 5 for Thursday, June 21st. This is a 2-year-old qualifier for Pacers. Once again, track fast, temperature 83 degrees. Number 1, Petunia's Dragon by Dragon Again, trained by Dan Altmeyer, the driver, Mike Wilder. Number 2, Domestic Dispute by All-American Native, trained by Jeff Indoff, the driver, Tony Hall. Number 3, Tats Tina by Dragon Again, trained by Norm Parker driving. Number 4, Sweet Talia by Real Desire, trained and driven by Steve Schoeffel. Number 5, Deauville by Some Beach Somewhere, trained by Randy Bendis, the driver, Dick Stillings. Number 6, Hoosier China by Canyon Wind, trained by Ron Burke, the driver, Dave Pallone. Number 7, Botox Hanover by Dragon Again, trained by Jim Rothfuss, the driver, Will Yoder. Two-year-old Pacers in the 6th qualifier. Number 1, Ava Destruction by Art Escape, trained by Jason Robinson, the driver, Greg Grismore. Number 2, Cantankerous by Some Beach Somewhere, trained by Bruce Regal, the driver, Brett Miller. Number 3, Dynamic Star by Always a Virgin, trained by Ron Burke, the driver, Dave Pallone. Number 4, Jesse's Diamond by Yankee Cruiser, trained by Dan Altmeyer, the driver, Mike Wilder. Number 5, Don't Go Away by Don't Get In My Way, trained by Ron Burke, the driver, Tony Hall. Number 6, Glinda by a Real Artist, trained by John Ryan Melsheimer, the driver, Brian Zen. Number 7, Star Z Tina by 4 Stars Shark, trained and driven by Ty Loy. Number 8, Smokin' American by All-American Native, trained and driven by Ray Paver. Two-year-old trotters in the 7th qualifying race. Number 1, Lindy of a Lifetime by Cantab Hall, trained by Boots Dunn, the driver Brian Zen. Number 2 is scratch number 3, Dewey Lane by Dewey Cheatham and Howell, trained by Rich Gillock, the driver Brett Miller. Number 4, Shiza Levesque by Master Levesque, trained and driven by Marty Wollum. Number 5 is Zolina by Donato Hanover, trained and driven by Kent McGee. Number 6, Dolly D by Glide Master, trained and driven by Dean Collins. Number 7, Aaliyah Hanover by Donato Hanover, trained by Randy Bendis, the driver Dick Stillings. Number 8, Blizzard Warning by Glide Master, trained and driven by Ty Loy. Eighth qualifying race. This one for Pacers. Number 1, Real Serene by Real Desire, trained by John Oliverio, the driver Dick Stillings. Number 2, Shy Dragon K by Dragon again, Rich Gillock, trains, driver Will Yoder. Number 3, Adventure Pan by Mach 3, trained by Ron Burke, driver Brett Miller. Number 4, Bit of Sweetness by Real Desire, trained by Ron Burke, the driver Dave Pallone. Number 5, Burn Time Hanover by All-American Native, trained and driven by Randy Tharps. Number 6, Upfront Hoosier Lady by Hoosier Boy, trained and driven by Dean Collins. Number 7, Lil Miss Hot Pants by Christian Cullen, trained and driven by Aaron Johnston. And number 8, Prima Dragon by Dragon again, trained and driven by Marty Wollum. Trotters in the 9th qualifying race. Track fast, temperature 83 degrees. Number 1, Ruddy Rusty by SJ's Caviar, trained by Boots Dunn, the driver Brian Zent. Number 2, Perfectamundo by Tom Ridge, trained by Robbie Roberts, the driver Dick Stillings. Number 3, New Fontaine by Broadway Hall, trained and driven by Marty Wollum. Number 4, Spicy Victor by Broadway Hall, trained and driven by Steve Schoeffel. Number 5, MM's Bad Boy by Malabar Millennium, trained by Jeff Kirkbride, the driver Will Yoder. Number 6, Mateo M by CR Excalibur, trained and driven by J.W. Miller. Number 7, Shaco Hanover by Donato Hanover, trained by Ron Burke, the driver Dave Pallone. Tenth qualifying race, this one for Pacers. Number 1, And Win Hanover by Yankee Cruiser, trained by Tim Pinsky, the driver Brian Zent. Number 2, Andrew Luck by Always a Virgin, trained by Jason Robinson, the driver Greg Grismore. Number 3, Have More Wine by Western Terror, trained and driven by Steve Schoeffel. Number 4, Crusher Man by Dragon Again, trained and driven by Ray Paver. Number 5, All Day Ray by Tell All, trained by Ron Burke, the driver Dave Pallone. Number 6, Caviar Jet by Real Desire, trained and driven by Ty Loy. Qualifying race number 11, this one for Pacers, 2-year-olds. Number 1, San Gerami by Metropolitan, trained and driven by Luis Porfilio. Number 2, Tempster Hanover by Some Beach Somewhere, trained by Dan Altmeyer, the driver, Mike Lauder. Number 3, Panpero Firpo by No Pan Intended, trained by Ron Burke, the driver, Dave Pallone. Number 4, Panongahela by No Pan Intended, trained by Ron Burke for Brett Miller. Number 5, Yankee Soldier by Yankee Cruiser, trained by William Rhodes, the driver, Greg Grismore. Number 6, Mine Shots by Real Desire, trained and driven by Aaron Johnston. Number 7, Cruising to the Music by Yankee Cruiser, trained by J.W. Miller, the driver, Tony Hall. Twelfth qualifying race for Trotters. Number 1, Berlin Hall by Broadway Hall, trained and driven by Marty Wollum. Number 2, Maximilis by Tom Ridge, trained by Robbie Roberts, driver Dick Stillings. Number 3, Classicality by Classic Photo, trained by Boots Dunn, the driver Brian Zent. Number 4, Easy E by Cantab Hall, trained by Jason Robinson, the driver Greg Grismore. Number 5, He's an American by American Winner, trained by Charlie Norris, the driver Will Yoder. Number 6, Mr. Mysterio by Yankee Glide, trained by Jack Claypool, the driver Brett Miller. Number 7, Paragon Winner by Credit Winner, trained and driven by Steve Schoeffel. Qualifying race number 13, this one for Pacers. Number 1, Captain Kubota by McArdle, trained by Rich Gillock, the driver Dick Stillings. Number 2, Inglorious Bernard by All-American Native, trained by Rich Perfido, the driver Tony Hall. Number 3, Jesuitical Hanover by Dragon Again, trained by Ron Burke, the driver Dave Pallone. Number 4, LeBron Hall by Some Beach Somewhere, trained by Ron Burke, the driver Brett Miller. Number 5, Cruising Machine by Yankee Cruiser, trained and driven by Aaron Johnston. Number 6, Ponderosito by the Ponderosa, trained and driven by Luis Porfilio. Number 7, McLiberty by McArdle, trained by Dan Altmeyer, the driver Mike Wilder. Fourteenth qualifier, this one for Trotters, track fast, temperature 83 degrees. Number 1, Luminosity by Cash Hall, trained and driven by Steve Schoeffel. Number 2, Barron's Mighty Might by Anastasia Barron, trained by Ashley Brown, the driver Brady Brown. Number 3, Duffler by Garth Vader, trained by Charlene Duffer, the driver Mike Wilder. Number 4, Bailout Special by SJ's Caviar, trained and driven by Marcus Marashian. Number 5, Revenge by Cantab Hall, trained by Rod Bolin, the driver Kyle Bolin. Number 6, John Bovey by Classic Photo, trained and driven by Roger Hammer. Number 7, Tigress's Legacy by SJ's Caviar, trained and driven by David Wade. Qualifier number 15, this one for Pacers. Number 1, You'll Shoot Your Eye Out, Kid by All-American Native, trained by Tim Twaddle, the driver Greg Grismore. Number 2, Jin's Dragon by Dragon Again, trained by Brad Buxton, the driver Mike Wilder. Number 3, Dragon Tattoo by Dragon Again, trained by Bruce Regal, the driver Brett Miller. Number 4, Hot and Shooting by Sand Shooter, trained by Ron Burke, the driver Dave Pallone. Number 5, Late Night Cruise by Yankee Cruiser, trained by J.W. Miller, the driver Tony Hall. Number 6, Skylights Finale by All-American Native, trained and driven by Steve Schoeffel. Number 7, Sicily Hanover by Dragon Again, trained by Jim Rothfuss, the driver Will Yoder. Sixteenth and final 2-year-old qualifier for June 21st. Number 1, Jalapeno by Real Desire, trained by Leonard Rich, the driver Greg Grismore. Number 2, CHF Elias by Sharky Spur, trained by Rich Perfido, the driver Brett Miller. Number 3, Bone Taker by Nuclear Breeze, trained by Roger Hammer, the driver Kyle Bolin. Number 4, Upfront Stealer by Dragon Again, trained by Bill Zent, the driver Mike Wilder. Number 5, All About Me Hanover by Some Beach Somewhere, trained by Ron Burke, the driver Dave Pallone. Number 6, Delightful Cash by Cash Cab, trained by Chris Rickert, the driver Randy Tharps.